Speaking of those 49ers, let's kick it over to you, Jesse. So the Niners last year, obviously a down year, at least based on their standards, of course. It's funny, though, we're talking about the Niners going into this year. Based on the schedule, all of a sudden the perception has changed. Now, CMC is going to be healthy. Brock Purdy gets paid. You lose Deebo Samuel, but you're going into this year with high expectations, seemingly out of nowhere, especially based on what happened last year with that schedule and just a public perception almost that they're going to bounce back. Is that the vibe you have right now? And based on what you've seen from camp, is it more likely that we see the former 49ers team closer to an NFC Championship Super Bowl caliber team? Or is it more towards last year, somewhere in the middle? Your overall vibe as we come to the end of training camp here.
Thank you, yeah, the 49ers, man. We got we got a great schedule for sure. In training camp, there was a lot of questions going into training camp. And I think some of those questions have certainly changed. There's been some injuries, but not the injuries you would expect. You would expect that if there were some injuries or nagging things happening, it would be the Trent Williams or the CMC or the Kittle, some of the guys that are longer in the tooth, but that's not the way that it's been. It's actually been some of the younger guys. Luckily, there's nothing that's going to be season ending or anything like that. One of the biggest questions I had about this team was the secondary. It was one of my biggest concerns. I have full trust in Diamador Lenore, but even he was moving from nickel corner, playing that slot role to the outside. That can be a transition for sure. He's talked a lot of trash, so every receiver in the NFC West wants them a part of Diamador Lenore. And then Renardo Green, who played very well last year. Can he be that player full-time? Is that just a one-year thing? And then it was like, all right, well, what's up with the safety position? What's going on with the nickel position? Upton Stout, though, rookie, this year has solidified himself as the starting nickel corner right now. He looks absolutely phenomenal in camp. He is the total package. There's nothing on the field that he cannot do. His leadership is already showing through as a rookie. So one of my big concerns in the secondary is actually not that big of a concern, which is great. But all of a sudden we have a new concern, which is the wide receiver position. Obviously, Deebo has moved on to Washington. Wish him all the best. Ultimately, that was a great move by the 49ers. He seems to be a little bit of a shell of himself. Brandon Ayuk is not going to be healthy to start the season. We knew that. But now Jawan Jennings wants this new contract. He's got this calf injury. Is that real? Is he holding in? We're not quite sure. Is Jawan Jennings, I love Jawan Jennings, but is he even the caliber of player that can hold in? I'm not sure of that either. Ricky Pearsall started camp with a hamstring injury, but he's back looking phenomenal. Demarcus Robinson, we're still waiting on the suspension from him. So the wide receiver position is a bit depleted right now. We don't know exactly what to expect from it. That's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And then, of course, this rookie front of Williams and West and all those guys that they drafted up front. Can they be a force all season long? That's something that I'm looking forward to seeing as training camp plays out. They spent 3 of their first 4-round picks on that defensive line. They're expecting Robert Saleh to work magic with a defense that was down last year as well. So curious to see how things play out. But overall, schedule does look pretty easy. I think minimum the 49ers should be expected to win 10 games, and anything less than that would be unsatisfactory.